Okay, so I'm going to do number 31, which has the equilibrium point, consumer surplus, and producer surplus. So I'll actually get to talk about the area between curves as well. So the demand curve we have here is 18 minus 3x. I'm actually going to graph these so I don't have to. So we have 18 minus 3x and wait, I wrote that down wrong. Darn it. The demand curve is 125 minus 15x. And the supply curve is 50 plus 10x. So those are not very curvy, but this is what we are looking at. This might be more confusing. Let's just try. Okay. Okay, so when we have this, we are looking for the equilibrium point. So we want to know what this intersection point is. And if we had to guess, it looks something like 3 and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 80. But let's actually see if we can figure that out. So we're looking at, we want to set d of x to find the equilibrium point. D of x equal to s of x. So we have 125 minus 15x equals 50 plus 10x. So I'm going to add 15x to both sides. So I have 125 equals 50 plus 25x. I'm going to subtract 50 from both sides, so 75 is 25x. And then divide by 25, and that's 3. So x is 3. And what we call this for the equilibrium point, we call that x sub e. And then to know what p sub e is, because this point is x sub e, p sub e, we would do either curve evaluated at x sub e. So this would be d times d of 3. So 125 minus 15 times 3, that is 125 minus 45, which is 80. Confirm, yes. So that is our equilibrium point, is 380. That is x sub e, p sub e. Okay, so that answers this first question. Let me squish that up there. So that answers the first question about the equilibrium point. So we've done that. That's here. Now we want to find the consumer surplus. So remember, we have, if we do some sort of like dashed line here, this is the consumer surplus and this is the producer surplus. It's those little areas trapped between there. Let's make sure. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, this line is P sub E. That is Y equals P sub E. So to do the consumer surplus, I'm going to try to fit this in here so we can see everything. Terrible. Okay, so to do the consumer surplus, we are looking at the area under the demand curve, but above equilibrium. So we're looking at this area here. So this is d of x, and this is p sub e. So we're going to do the integral of top minus bottom. In this case, our x values are going to go from 0 to 3. The top function is our demand curve, so 125 minus 15x. And the bottom function is just y equals p sub e, so 80. And then we're looking at the integral from 0 to 3 of 125 minus 80, which is 45. So negative 15x plus 45 dx. And then we're going to increase and divide. So negative 15x squared over 2 plus 45x. This is evaluated from 0 to 3. So negative 15 times 3 squared divided by 2 plus 45 times 3 is 67.5. And then subtract off 0. So that is 67.5, or math fraction 135 over 2. That is the consumer surplus. So the area of, let's highlight this in pink. Consumer surplus is this area, top minus bottom, that's it. All right, and then let's do producer surplus over here. So the producer surplus is going to be this area. So we're going to do, again, the integral of top minus bottom of that piece. Our x values are going to go from 0 to 3 again. The top function here is that straight line, so p sub e. The bottom function is our supply curve, so 50 plus 10x dx. P sub e is 80, so we're going from 0 to 3 of 80 minus 50 minus 10x dx. So that's 30 minus 10x dx, evaluated from 0 to 3. So 30x minus 10x squared over 2, evaluated from 0 to 3. 30 times 3 is 90. 90 minus 3 squared times 10 divided by 2, that's 45, which is 45. And that is, and then minus 0, because plugging 0 to those never go away. So the equilibrium point is this green ordered pair right here. The consumer surplus is trapped between the demand curve and that line y equals p sub e, your equilibrium point. The producer surplus is the area between p sub e and the supply curve. And so you're doing top minus bottom, which is how you do the integral, how you do the area between curves. Hopefully that helps give a little more detail to section 6.5. Let me know if there's anything else I can do.